And yo,
Hey, GBP roast, GBP roast. Sorry, you in danger. Right now, I gotta flame you. This is GBP roast, GBP roast. On your Google business profile, it's about to go down. We roasting and reacting. We ain't come to play. 20 years in SEO. JP, Lambo, and Dre, bringing facts and guests. Oh yeah, we bring the dopeness. Welcome to the show. Hope your profile don't get roasted.
yo. 20 years. Have you been in, has it been more than 20 years for you guys now? Is it like, what, 25 maybe?
I
2000?
started around like 2007.
2007?
So almost 20 years. Almost.
Like 2 more years maybe, yeah?
Yeah, I was mainly doing like organic arbitrage, like just shit with eBay.
Oh, with, with eBay? Or so you're doing just online stuff, but not necessarily SEO, like ways to make money online.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing SEO, but I was actually building bots to rank like people's listings on eBay.
Oh, bot builder. How about you, Keith? How about you?
2001, I first started hacking away on sites and messing with titles. And then like, that was like core discovery of like, oh my gosh, that just showed up in blue on Google. That's a miracle. Titles. Right?
Yep. Love it. All right, guys. So today we have our roofing company. All right, we're doing a roofing company, and we have
we've got some unique things here because it's actually going to be female led. We also are going to pull on some heartstrings, and we're also going to really discover, at least from the CRO point of view, where she's missing out on those unique selling benefits, right? Like, man, you got to be different. You got to be better. That's all I preach on this show. You know, maybe we'll just have Lambo AI just come out here and, you know, talk away or something. Right? I don't know.
It's a robot.
What?
Change your persona.
So, and our tech talk for today, we have what? It's a 3-part series or 3-part segments.
Yeah, it's called From Shingles to Signals. So it's going to be talking about utilizing existing data you have as a roofing company, and then how you can target new customers in the areas where you've already like done jobs. So
nice. And this can be applied to any service business, right?
You can be applied to anything, but we've been doing a lot of tests lately in the roofing industry, and it's been working really well.
Cool. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Our first reaction video. Check this one out.
So here's what you should do. Write up a draft document in Google Docs, explain who Eric is and what he wants, and also his pain points. Then save it and add it into ChatGPT as a project. So anytime that you need content like service pages, blog posts, or FAQs, just add to your template, write this for Eric, my avatar, in mind. Then also obviously include local keywords like North Vancouver patio deck builder or custom backyard decks near me, and that should help you rank a lot better. So when you create that avatar document once, your content will always sound personal, rank higher, and attract the right customers. So if this tip was helpful, comment local SEO, and I'll see you on the next one.
Okay, great.
Let's hear examples. Let's see proof.
It all sounds cool, and me being more of the creative people person, I don't necessarily have a problem with spitting out bullshit, right? A lot of SEO people are very analytical, and they're like, I can't think like humans, right? Like, I want to be in a box in the basement and live with my parents the rest of my life. So it can help you, but what do we know? Just creating all this content still doesn't necessarily help you unless it's getting indexed and unless you're getting links and you're getting traffic. So again, you're better to focus on other marketing signals than the cool buzz of, oh, I made this avatar and it's targeting and I have all this great content. And it'll be like, did it make sales? Did you get clicks?
What do you think about the content just creating just so they can create that so they can let Google know what type of site they are, right? Because maybe they put out maybe a few articles, but or you just think it's just putting out a blog as a service business is not necessarily.
The thing is too, you got to remember is like now we're having to optimize for 3 people. We're having to optimize for Google, AI, and consumers. So while this persona could be cool, but at the end of the day, I think that can be also dangerous because now you're optimizing for a persona and not the actual service. So that could also take away, you know, now it would be different if like, you know, Joe Schmo was a roofing consultant or something like that, or a coach. And that would be a great strategy to use for like a coaching business and kind of building your personal portfolio. But for like a service business, you know, at the end of the day, is Google's going to start kind of absorbing that and saying, hey, we're going to recommend Eric because he's a coach, and it kind of confuses what the actual service is.
Got it. And, you know, one of the strategies I see that works is like when you are, let's say, a paintless dent remover, that you offer how to do things, but you show how hard it is, and you can always, hey, if this is too hard, you can hire us, right? So that's kind of like if they want someone that's trying to do it themselves.
Because I mean, people love DIY. DIY is a great way to get traffic. However, but yeah, when people finally realize, oh shit, this is pretty tough. I'll just call you guys. Like, fuck it.
Lots of people are really afraid, especially in the home service contractor world, of, well, I don't want to tell everyone how to do it. And yet there's a certain professionalism of, well, just call the expert, call a mechanic, right? Like, I'm not going to fix it by myself. That's why they went to school. They have the degree, they have the experience, but you can still show people. And that's what's fun with like short video content and blogs. People love the behind the scenes. They love to see what you're up to. And they may not buy that day, but it's still that brand awareness, because what'll happen? Someone will say, hey, does anyone know a good plumber, right? And they'll just make a recommendation, even though they didn't even use them themselves, just that extra branding, and say, well, I guess he knows what he's doing, walking around in those bibs and the red shirt and the Mario mustache. So just
all right,
teach.
There you go.
Teach
Love
and
it.
preach.
Let's check out video number 2.
Oh, what's good?
You have a local business. These are the types of keywords you should be making pages for. Same day drain cleaning in Denver. Affordable tree removal, Charlotte. Top rated AC repair in Phoenix. SaaS apps have figured out how to make local service pages. Take a standard software landing page like this, give it to ChatGPT. Say, remake this page for a local business targeting this keyword, give it your keyword. ChatGPT will give you an ideal hero template to start with. You have your keyword as the H1, short description saying why you can be counted on, call to action button, real image. This is a great starting point. Then make a hub page like this. This is where you have your SEO landing pages. You link to this in your footer so that pages are only 2 clicks away from the homepage. How to do SEO for services businesses in under a minute? Get it at bit.ly/local-SEO-Edward.
You need to have a real image of a guy under a sink doing something. What is he doing exactly? It's a real image. Come on.
That's some hocus pocus shit right there.
Are you sure that wasn't an ad? Like the jumping, the quick action, you're like, you gotta like rewind and reabsorb and rewatch that. Like, holy shit,
give a link at the end.
From affordable trees to the cheapest plumber. What was the other page you have to make, right? You're like, for fuck's sake, people.
You know, what are your thoughts of, like, let's say businesses doing things themselves with using AI to build their stuff? Like he was kind of pointing that out. Hey, if you have a business, you pretty much just grab someone else's website, throw in AI.
I think it depends on what it is. I think with AI now, it's driving me fucking banana crazy when now all these SEOs are like, I'm a coder now. I'm a vibe coder. Like, come follow me. I've got this inspirational post. I'm a vibe coder. I'm like, no, like, let's see you go edit an HTML page, and then maybe I'll call you a vibe coder, right? So AI is great, but I think if you need something for, a lot of times I'll just use ChatGPT to like go create a Facebook post just because I don't want to fucking deal with it. So I think AI has great resources. If you have some extra time, you're a one-man band, I like to call them, you're like a one-man, home service company, and you want to play with AI a little bit, but you can really mess things up. So it's probably good to hire a professional. Like, you probably don't want to go try to install your roof on your home, because more than likely you're probably going to spend more time and energy after you get that leak, right? You should have just called the roofing company at that point.
It's still a tool at the end of the day, right? But it's only as good as the person behind it.
Yep.
So when you have that expertise, then I look like a magician saying, how'd you do that? Well, I've been using it and sharpening the tool and strengthening the blade, and I'm a wizard with the prompts, right? But The other reality too is, especially these LLMs, they are true, not the science fiction movie artificial intelligence. It is trying to guess what you want, and it's also trying to make you happy, hence why they hallucinate. And even why people that are trying to use ChatGPT or Gemini as a search result, they're like, it gave me wrong information. Well, it's just trying to make you happy, and it's trying to also learn at the same time.
Yeah. And I'll show you today, I'll show you an example of a roofing page that I
Cool.
created actually with Gemini. So you guys will kind of see like the types of content you want to put in there and all that as well.
Love that. Love that. So you did give similar tip to me once, JP, where it's like if you can use something that you already like, if there's a layout or something like that, just take that screenshot and use AI is good at really copying other things and just like kind
Yeah.
of replacing with what you want. If you give it that much direction, right? Because like
Yeah.
you're saying hallucinate, it could spit out anything, but you're giving guidance. Hey, I want you to follow this image, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I've done stuff too, like from Theme Forest. You can find some really cool designs, and I don't recommend just flat out copying the site, but you can at least get a kind of idea like what the layout you want it to do, and then you can literally just take that photo, and AI will, make something that looks pretty close. So
yep. All right. Before we get on to our last reaction video, let's get into our.
Roast me up.
All right. So this is a woman-led business.
Yeah, let me start off here. And what should we do? We better go off.
If she's woman-led, I know there's a feature in Google Business Profile. Should they make sure they tick that? Is that like a plus thing to do?
I'm sorry. I was talking over myself.
I can't hear you. You're low.
We're going to jump
There you
into this Legend Roofing. And this is the homepage. Later in just 5 minutes, I'll jump into some of the conversion optimization. But I'm just going to dive in here a little bit on some of the technical SEO. This is using the tool SEO in one click. And I just pulled this information off. So you always see this, right, when you do a search. Oh, sorry. I actually added this by extra. Pretend you didn't see that. That's what needs to be there. This is what shows up on the SERP, right, when this site shows up. But it's what city, right? Again, Mr. Roofer, Mr. Local Service, you're going to have to put that local city. And if you want to, you can try to even have another supporting city like Eagle or Meridian for where these guys are located at. I always love to rewrite these more as an actual ad. I think that the use of the words and keyword and information in here is good, but holy crap stick.
do they really have duplicate headers?
Yeah, is that 2H1s?
Yeah, they're doubled. All of these are doubled, and you're like, are you serious? Basically, what's happened is you have a shitty web developer, and this is what's really sad. I think this website probably cost $2,000, and it's only 2 months old. But what's basically happened is you have a mobile version, and then you have a desktop version. And a stupid dev said, I'm going to use this headline here, and then I'm going to use this headline over here to get the different layout. And this is just crap, because if you notice, they're a roofer. Okay, that's great. We do mention craftsmanship. We do mention Idaho, but wait a minute. Okay, great. We got a roof inspection. This is some of the more lead items. Those should be H2s. That's the more prominent information that needs to be on the page. Certainly we have way too many headers. Some of these really need to be like a paragraph, not a true header. And look at this down here. This is the actual footer, right? And you're like, no, don't do that. So that's one of the sad portions on the technical side to fix that. I want to jump over to, and this is Local Falcon. And When in my research, I stumbled from the website, they mentioned that they're from the Star Chamber of Commerce. And I thought, okay, there's a link opportunity, which I'll get to. But I also figured that, you know what? Looking at their reviews, there's lots of mention of repair, and they're not publishing an address. Guys, even if it's out of your home, you're always going to have an advantage with with publishing your address and avoiding the SAB, service as a business. What I wanted to show you is you're like, holy crap, they rank for nothing, right? Well, duh, right? They have 8 reviews, and the site is 2 months old. I think the brand itself might be 2 or 3 years old. I don't know for sure, but just searching roof repairs and you're like, oh my, look at this. Bum, bum, bum. Right away, this is the only opportunity, ooh, whoop-de-doo, they're number 10 on the maps for roof repairs. So where the opportunity lies for this customer is to say, okay, the more ideal thing to do, and there are hundreds of competitors out there, really, it's just ridiculous. How can you be different and better? You might as well just do door knocking or do a mail campaign with an offer, or even some roadside signs, a QR code, free inspection, whatever your uniqueness is, and then just start penetrating your backyard. Once you dominate that area, that's probably enough business for you, but then it'll give you the chance to expand into some of the other suburbs in that market. We know SEO experts that when it comes to the advertising side, you could really advertise yourself out of business. So it's just crazy. So clearly they need more reviews. They're pretty new. And what we really need to do is say, okay, what about the CRO portion, right? Is there some areas that we can improve upon to really, what is she missing? Like what about that messaging for Legend that needs to make you stand apart?
Yeah. I wanted to show a couple things.
What about
So
are you looking at the business profile? Are you pulling out the business profile?
yeah, I'm gonna pull that up. So if you watch previous episodes, I built a little tool. GeoHub is something, watch some previous episodes, but this is something that Keith and I teach. That's basically the content that you're going to utilize for your Google business profile. So it's pretty easy. You just come in here, and I'll make a public URL probably like in the comments of this video. But you put in the company name, service area, address, or excuse me, what you do, business name, and so forth. And what this does is it pulls in some different algorithms that Google has launched over the years. Things like a recent one like Movera, and I'll explain to these again real quick. But BERT, NLP, EAT, and things like that. So this is just a simple page I created for this particular brand. You will want to have a nice little photo here, something that's realistic. And then kind of jumping into, if you watch previous episodes, we also cover things when it comes into like AI mode is, these types of verbiage, you want to have these in the content. So, transparency, pricing, local expertise. These are what's going to cover in your Movera update. So the problem the user is saying, my ceiling is leaking right now. Basically what Movera does is it understands the intent in a semantic fashion of what that user is really looking for. So in this case, if they say my ceiling is leaking right now, Legend Roofing, your solution is we are 24/7 emergency tarping solution. So we will come out there and put tarps on the roof to make sure everything is covered. And then immediate deployment to prevent further water intrusion and rapid damage assessment. So these are like the types of things you want to put on your content on the web page.
Yeah, on that emergency.
This is going to cover things like hail, wind damage, flashing, immediate repair. So again, these are examples of Movera. It's basically like, imagine someone's coming to Google, usually this is going to cover depend on like where they are in their buyer journey. They're probably not necessarily looking for a roofing company right then and there. They're just saying, hey, my roof is leaking. Like, what is there something that I can do to fix it? So these are the types of things that you can add into your webpage. And then let's go down a little bit. Deep dive into Idaho climate and roofing systems. This is going to cover the BERT and NLP algorithms. So when user searches for roofing in Boise, sophisticated search engines like BERT recognize that the user is not just looking for a general contractor, but one that understands the Boise specific entities and challenges. This includes significant temperature swings from 90s in the summer to well below freezing in the winter, which, Keith, you live in Boise, pretty prominent that you can go from super hot to super cold quick. So these are types of things that you want to make sure that you include in the content. And a lot of this content that you have on here, I would include this into all of your pages and also the page that your Google Business Profile is actually attached to. And that way you're kind of utilizing that GeoHub as a way to kind of encompass everything. And that way you're covering all your ground as far as every service that you offer and where you offer it. One thing that's really important too is that when you start doing branding, what I would recommend is go into AI mode, just type in your brand. You can type in this case, Legend Roofing Boise, and see what Google is actually defining about you. You know, they say that you're a Boise or an Idaho-based roofing company, contact information, your main services that you offer, and then it has company philosophy. So it's going to have, you know, Kristen Morris is a native Idahoan who started this company with the goal of raising the standard roofing in Treasure Valley. So just even going forward, to me, I would say that the branding so far, Legend has done a pretty good job. They're in some major directories, Better Business Bureau, Yelp, and Google has a pretty good idea of what they do. That's what I wanted to share for this one. Is there anything you wanted to add?
No, I mean, that's good information. You know, the CRO side, certainly, I'll get into that on Lambo's World and kind of expand.
And you notice too, by just making quick on-page changes, we haven't even touched into like things to do on the actual Google business, you know, even more citations, traffic, reviews. So there's a lot of things that you can do just simply on page.
What about let's take a look at that Legend Roofers GBP, right? We haven't take a look and see and how break that down.
You want to pull it up, Keith, since you're on the next?
Oh, let's see. Here we go. Legend Roofing. Mentioning the customer name, which is good. Mentioning what some of it. Some of this looks a little bit coached.
I mean,
that's okay.
Long.
That's okay. We got 2 reviews in the last 48 hours. But man, the use of what they're saying, right? Shingles, flashing, honest, sealed, good stuff here, right? Oh, look for quotes, prompt, professional, looks great. They use the word repair. I do note that I think it's a little bit more coached because here's the word replacement, replaced.
What do you mean by coach? Like you're saying that
like someone might have encouraged the client, the customer, to say certain things, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, right? Or
no, but it's a little bit more obvious. But it's not a big deal. It's a good thing. It's just we're looking at a fresh brand, right? 2-month-old website, at least on a from what I can gather from from that particular domain was registered, as well as having 8 reviews now in the last 2 months. So we're speculating. I never talked with Kristen. I certainly have spent some time on the site and looking at some things, but doing a lot of things right. I think I would definitely expand to gutter and maybe some other supporting exterior items. But, you know, on the site itself, it's really actually limited, and I absolutely hate the.
I wonder, are those real houses that you probably? I don't know. Maybe they are.
I don't know.
They look really nice. They look, but
You know, you come onto a site like this and you're like, let me handy dandy this up. You're like, oh great, you know, another, you know, boring roof. And the reality is it's like what it's like, no, I want the happy customer, right? I would rather see a handshake. I'd rather see the happy person of who I can become by doing these things. And we kind of look at, you know, these are really wasted headlines. For one, this is actually hard to read. Let me zoom in. You're looking at a light gray font, and it's much smaller with this all caps headline. It's just not a good scenario. And you really have to dive in deeper to say, well, what are you really saying? Oh, she's saying honest answers. Well, just say that, right? Here it says detail driven, but then it opens with female owned. Again, Kristen, I want to see you. I want to see you sooner. And when there are literally, my gosh, I was going down this list here. Look, I'm just going to hit the page down. There's 7 guys, 7 more. It just goes on. Roofing exteriors. Look, it just, how do you compete against that? You have to grab these men by the balls and dominate. Go after the grandma, go after the housewife and show me who you are, right? We jump into the About Us. Finally, we get to see who she is, the story, but there's also a big piece that's missing. It's on the homepage. You go down. We get a little bit of the About Us, but more the story. And it's not until you're like, well, wait a minute. Oh, why choose the legend? No one's going to read this far, okay? I've seen people. Oh, wait. Bum, bum, bum. Read about Michael, okay? Some of you might cry right now, okay? Be careful. But we're going to pull the widow card on the CRO. Sadly, Michael passed away 2 years ago, but Kristen is taking the reins of the company, right? This is something you want to take advantage of. And the other reality that she's really missing out on the conversion side, right here. This is buried down at the bottom. 5-year workmanship warranty. That's unheard of. That's basically you're saying that your labor is good for 5 years. And most people might only do it, I think even like the states might regulate 1 or 2 years. So this is the unique value that you need to lead with that. Also, this one, 30 years experience. If you tell me that you're female driven and that your husband died and you're going to keep that legend, right? Keep the legend going. There's so many other kinds of like messaging. I have notes over here. You could do built with heart, continuing with honor, continuing his legacy, the mission to keep it alive. None of this information up here matters too much. I'm sorry. What you really have to sell the benefits and sell the emotion. That's what's really going to be key.
all right.
That's Lambo's world.
Cool. Love it.
That's Lambo's world. Let me.
I didn't key in the intro. Sorry. I got this intro coming. Here we go.
Da, da, da,
Yeah, we're going to buy some G&Bs right now. How we do it?
Shingles to signals. Love it.
Shingles.
Love the title.
I was thinking it was like
We're gonna be
medical
covering a couple
shingles.
things today.
Shingles.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, not shingles, like the other type of shingles.
Well, I am over 50, and therefore I should see my doctor and talk about
Are you over 50?
Yeah,
You look good if you are.
he's old.
40, 39.
There you go. All right, that
I'm
sounds
more
more
like
like it.
17, mentally.
So one thing that's really, I can't stress this enough, is your CRM, your past customer list is like one of your biggest assets, especially if you're a roofing company. Every roofing company, it's 2025, you should have some type of SMS text message platform integrated into your processes to be able to have constant communication with past clients, current clients, things like that. I use a service called Text Magic. Really, really great service.
Write that down, kids.
So you
Text
just go to
magic.
textmagic.com,
Take a note.
and they make things super easy because you can upload your own contact list. So if you have your CRM, you'll have your full name, every job that you've ever done, current customer list, to just kind of be able to send out little campaigns. And you can do things like, hey, like if this is in Boise, there's winter's coming up, do you want to call us to make sure that your gutters are good, or you want to make sure that you don't have anything that could leak on
Yeah,
the roof.
because
So
one thing that Kristen has is free inspection,
free
right?
inspection,
So
yeah.
there you go. Take
So we
advantage.
we actually saved a plumbing business during COVID by just creating SMS campaigns where we actually sent out a blast to every single client that they had and said, hey, we're offering a $99 service to come in just to make sure like your toilets are working, that you don't have any plumbing issues because everyone's at home. So this is actually what saved them. We sent out about
But I'm out of
6,000
toilet
messages,
paper.
and of those 6,000, I think we probably closed about 200 to 300 of those by just offering a very simple service. So text messaging is always a great thing. Yes, there are rules and regulations. You want to check with your local state. For example, Texas just passed a law. You need to make sure that you can only contact a current list that's in there, because if you do any type of cold calling, you'll get dinged. But other states, you can still very, very effective to use SMS. So definitely recommend doing that. You can also send little reminders saying, hey, you have an appointment coming up. There's a lot of things that you can use SMS for. So that's one aspect. One thing that's, I think, a very underutilized tool is that people aren't checking like how their visibility on Google Maps, however it's set, and match that with the jobs that they're getting. Because by looking at range trackers only go so far, it's kind of giving kind of a bird's eye view, those little magic map rank trackers. But the proof is really where your jobs are actually located. So if you have a CRM, a list that shows all the addresses for all the customers that you serviced over the last year or even the last 3 months, that's going to give you a good indicator kind of what's probably showing on Google Maps, if Google Maps is your driving force for getting leads. There's a really cool service called Batch Geo. I've used them a very, very long time. It's just batchgeo.com. You can literally just upload a list of like all of your jobs, the addresses, so that you get a nice, cool looking map.
That's cool. Is that free?
And yeah, so they do have a free service. I think depending on how much you're using, but you can literally just use it like one time. I think the first, 1,000 lines or 1,000 lines, 10,000. I think it's 1,000 lines are free. So, and the reason why I do something like this is because we have another way to really narrow down the visibility of your Google Maps. If you notice here that you're a roofing company in Fresno and you're getting a majority of your jobs on the west side and kind of in this area here, and you say, hey, I really want to focus on the south side. This is where a lot of money is. I can get really good jobs there. By kind of taking a look at this map, you can really narrow down your targeting when you start sending traffic to your Google business. And one way that you can do that is through Facebook ads. Facebook ads is a very cost-effective way to get traffic, get leads. And best of all, it's actual real users. You're not using any type of CTR bots or any of that crap. And so I'm going to show you a very effective way of doing that. So let's say we want to target this area. Hold on. So let's say we want to cover Malaga. We can go in directly into our Facebook campaigns. And let me
Ooh, we love to see Jordan's Facebook feed. This is awesome.
You back in the game?
Should we black all this out?
Yeah, block it all out.
We're all very transparent here at GBP Roast. We don't do this fuzzy black bars and all this other crap. This is real ranking, real customers.
So I'm gonna come in here whenever this wants to give me. I thought I had this pulled up. Give me just a moment.
That's all right. It's Facebook. Like you dive in there and
Our UI is horrible.
like-
Ad UI, it's like you have to click on so many different things to go down into subfolders or sub ads, and I don't
Yeah.
like-
yeah. Oh, and then
Alright.
be careful that you don't, reset all your parameters, and then you're automatically going to get the AI enhancements whether you like it or not. Thanks, Zuckerberg.
That's right. So one thing I'll do is, so I'll have, let's say, your traffic. Always do a traffic campaign for this because you'll get the cost per click is much lower when you do use it for this specific reason.
Mhm.
We'll go ahead and click on manual setup, continue. Let me
And if
close
any
out
of
of
you
this
guys
real
have
quick.
additional questions, we are really good about following up with your comments. So just ask them down below. Doesn't matter when this video was created. Jordan and I have been in the local SEO and marketing world, as we talked about, me since 2001 and Jordan since 2007.
It's being really slow today.
And you're creating a traffic campaign to his website, or their website, or their
To the Google business.
or to the Google Business profile.
What are you doing? Don't be telling people this stuff.
I
and
don't
also,
care.
subscribe. You're also going to get more.
The Google
awesome
Business
stuff
profile or the
that we'll
Google
teach you
Map?
about.
And there's two different links, right? Which one are you going to send it to? The map?
To
or
the map. I'll show you here in just a second. Malaga, California. Here it is.
Who needs masterminds when
I
you
know.
got YouTube?
Keith is like, what the hell? Remember the mastermind's like, hey, I paid for that. Why are you giving this away for free?
I'm only showing a little bit. Relax. If you've been following me for a long time, I've been teaching this for like 6 years, so
Yeah.
that's nothing new. So we'll target that. So this is going to be this city.
Focused
hold
on
on.
traffic.
Here it is. So it's going to be the city right here,
Malaga?
Malaga, California.
Now, clearly, we really haven't done the advanced research. This is just pure speculation. That's a nice visual, though, to really show strength and weaknesses right away of where you're doing, where jobs are at, and activity too, like reputation.
Yeah, this is
who's
a really
talking
good tool
about
just to
you.
kind of see, like, this to me was be an actual representation. If someone's saying, hey, I'm not ranking in this area, I'd be like, well, let me see, upload your customer list. Let me see what's going on.
Great opportunity
You
too.
know,
to
if they're like,
see-
well, I'm not getting any jobs and
even to see where there's trends, like why would someone maybe be getting more calls in certain metro portions? It
Yeah.
could be because someone's out of business, maybe other roofers are not taking calls, and
Yeah.
remember, the data is key for you to jump on and pounce while
You could
the
also
iron is hot, as they say.
use this tactic to double down where you're getting a lot of places, right? Like,
Exactly,
hey,
right.
it's like, hey,
Right.
I'm already
yeah,
getting
if you
jobs
want to
here.
really increase it, and like if you're getting a lot of jobs, let's say over here or even this area, you can really just narrow it down. Like, say, I just want to focus in this area. That's where I want all of my jobs. And you'll notice that your visibility, even if you check your rank tracker, you'll start seeing some more greens just in this area.
And they
It
can
doesn't
also
take a
use
lot of
them as
budget. You can start
references.
off with like $5 a day, so it doesn't require a ton. Let me switch
Because
this
I'm
over.
sure if you showed like photos of those familiar houses in that area, they're like, oh, that's my neighbor's house. And then
Yeah. So we'll do Malaga. So the reach is about 600. So probably not going to get a ton, but you get the idea of what you could really target for a specific area. I recommend test it with video, or excuse me, with photos, because you can do something funny about roofing just so you get the click, because the ultimate goal here is you just want people clicking it, Now, if they convert, that's great because these are going to be real users that are coming in. What you put for the website, you want to come into your maps. Let's say we'll just pick a one here. Let's say it's Roof by Tom. You type in your keyword in Google Maps. You click on the listen, which is going to be your brand, and you grab that entire URL, and that will be your URL that you put into the Facebook ad.
So no, don't use a short URL.
No. You don't want to use any short URLs when you're doing ads because most providers, ad platforms, they don't want you to use redirects.
Got it. Calling Larry says, I'd like to target specific zip codes for ads instead of the whole
Yeah,
city.
you can do
Is that
zip
something-
codes. You can pretty much do whatever when it comes to Facebook. There's a lot of really great ad platforms. I can't share them all, but there's great platforms to get some additional traffic. You can really narrow it down by like actual. So if you're a roofer, you can narrow it down by like everyone who's visited a Lowe's, everyone who's visited a Home Depot.
Oh,
Even.
Right. Think about what are some of the activities
oh,
that your audience is doing, right? Maybe before or even after during that purchase process, and then to zero in on that behavior.
Yep.
You know, you don't need
one
to type it into ChatGPT, right? It's like, well, I know they're going to be at Home Depot, and you can even circle in and say, well, I want them to go into the paint zone of the department. You can do that.
Yep. One thing, another thing. So kind of the third part today, I wanted to cover. It's actually interesting because these guys, they use yard signs. Yard signs are really, really effective. So this is kind of getting more away from the like local SEO. This is kind of more traditional marketing. So imagine like if there was no search engine, like this is how people did it back in the day. They used signs. I was actually walking in my neighborhood this morning with my dog, and I happened to come across, someone had a yard sign saying, "Hey, you can get a rebate for, not having a lawn." So again, I mean, these things are extremely effective, especially if you're a roofer. You can put, QR codes around the neighborhoods, major intersections, maybe even put them at the Home Depots, like in front of them or like around the stores. QR codes, you can have them send directly to your Google business, directly to the reviews. I mean, there's multiple ways of doing this to send some additional traffic to your Google business, and you're getting some more visibility. And you also get more people eyes, seeing that sign. You'll see this a lot in junk removal. So a lot of home services is a great way to utilize kind of old school marketing tactics, but kind of bring that into the new
Well,
line.
can you imagine if you did a zip code with the direct mail, then you put roadside signs in all the cul-de-sacs and all the areas, right? The roundabouts. And then you did social marketing target. Like that's a triple focus that is really going to then compound your branding rather than, well, we just spread it out through the valley or spread it out through the city. It's like, no, be ultra focused because you're just always reminding them of your brand.
yep. I mean, it goes to that rule where, like, you see a brand at least 7 times, you'll finally register in that person. So if you can see that brand in different places, I think that would be more effective.
Yeah, and especially too, like if you're a roofer, I guarantee your client would have no problem like sticking something in the yard for a couple of days. Like, hey, check out the roof we just did for this customer. It's just that type of thing. It does work. It's like there's something in the psychology that people see someone doing something. Oh, they're updating their house. I got to update my house now. It's just everybody wants to kind of jump on board and jump on the bandwagon.
No, I that definitely works because the sign, when you mentioned that sign, because my next door neighbor here literally just had their whole yard redone, and it looks nice. They spent maybe 50 grand. And I see people stopping, like because they're on the corner, like people are stopping. So they're looking at what they're doing, but there's a big sign on there that says by some company landscaping. So, if something massive, your company should definitely put something out there.
Exactly. You just got a real life billboard, a real video. And then if they're that interested, what are they going to do? Snap a picture, and they might even take ideas from it as well. So it just compounds everything.
All right, let's check out our last reaction video for today from our buddy Brett.
Let's go.
Oh, maybe not. Why not?
Here we go.
Ah, no sound.
Start it over.
start over and you can read it.
We got it.
At least there's captions. There you go.
You want
Ready?
me to read it?
Yeah, you read it.
I need
You're
to
a good
read it with
narrator.
the action. What's really
Ready?
important is reviews right now. You want really important reviews, right? You want to get reviews. You want people to say the name of your business and what they did for you and the technician that worked for you, maybe a street address or something kind of nearby, a monument or a bridge or a precinct or something like that. That's native to your neighborhood. Right. You want Google that in that area. Sorry.
Basically, it's
On next episode, Keith's gonna learn how to read that.
Hey, one time I think I had to read Joy's stuff and I put the wig on and everything. I was ready to go.
No,
I
that's,
guess-
that's definitely on point. I mean, we always
Yeah.
kind of teach that. I mean, I probably wouldn't need to know like the street address or technician. I mean, you might want to know the tech that helped, but it's really, like, who you are, what type of service you got from us, maybe where you live, what city you called in from, and just kind of overall how the service was. And that really encompasses a way to get all the content that you want on your business. By also having a really good review that has been left. And that's usually I would ask for that, especially if it's home services. And since we're talking about roofing, you probably want to get that from one of the workers when during the time they're getting the final invoice, whatever it is, getting the final check, final payment, and just say, hey, just let us know how we did. Take a photo of the roof, and then just give us a review. Because again, that last touch is what's going to be the most impactful.
Yeah. The golden nugget is trying to get the city, and it's really the hardest. But here you guys go. Ready? This is going to be the most watched part of the video, besides everything that Jordan said. Say this. Coach people to say this. Say your city house, my San Diego house. They came to and replaced my roof on my Denver house. So that way, that's a great way of using it as an adjective to describe the location.
You know what's interesting? I want to bring this up because I know it's not a service. I'm not a service business, but I have a local business. But when people are saying monuments and stuff like that, because in my Google Business profile, it asks me like if I want to list like places nearby, like parks or something, or like libraries. And I don't understand why it would want me to mention that in my Google Business profile. But I mean, have you guys come across
Just for helping finding like where you're at?
Especially for like visitors. And think
Yeah.
of the tourism, travel side. I think as a restaurant, definitely
okay.
in hotels, it's advantageous because a tourist might come to an area and want to go see the museum, the art gallery, and the sites. And then it's always good to say, oh, what's nearby? And that's how they can correlate and look at that data and say, well, here's whiskey shops, taverns, restaurants, taco joints nearby, and then to connect all that data.
Okay, I'm gonna take this a little further because I know a lot of people say like look down on this because like okay, if it's saying that, why?
If you
what's
say do it on
stopping
the
me-
page, I'm gonna slap you.
So why couldn't I create a page like about a park nearby and post it on my website then?
Do you want to rank for that park?
Okay, never mind. All right,
Okay.
guys, that concludes our episode for today. Until next time, be sure to leave.
Oh my gosh, 2 in a
review.
row! It's a
Yeah,
miracle.
got it. So make sure you leave a comment, like, subscribe, and
If you guys have questions, please do. We'll follow up with you and help you out. Man,
you look actually bright today, Jordan. How,
Yeah,
good.
the sun's blasting through me right now.
All right,
I look
guys.
bright because I'm blind.
here, let me turn up my brightness factor. There we go. Oh shit, I overloaded.
GBP roast. Sorry, you in danger. Right now, I gotta flame you. This is GBP roast. GBP roast on your Google business profile. It's about to go down. We roasting and reacting. We ain't come to play. 20 years in SEO. JP, Lambo, and Dre. Bringing facts and guests. Oh, yeah, we